Going back to the book, the 29th Regiment received so terrible a fire that I saw the right wing almost annihilated, and the colonel, I think his name was Lennox, lay sprawling amongst the rest. We had caught ourselves in it pretty handsomely, for there was no cover for us, and we were rather too near. The living skirmishers were laying beside heaps of their own dead, but still we had our own till the battalion regiments come up. Fire and retire is a very good sound, but the rifles were not over fond of such notes. We never performed that maneuver except when it was made pretty plain to us that it was quite necessary. The 29th, however, had got their fairing here at this time, and the shock of that fire seemed to stagger the whole line and make them recoil. At the moment, a little confusion appeared in the ranks, I thought. Lord Hill was near at hand and saw it, and I observed him come galloping up. He put himself at the head of the regiment and restored them to order in a moment. There's some leadership, just full-on leadership in action. So there's also fire and retire. What that means is cover and move. So you have some people shooting and some people falling back. That's how they retreat. And they use that whenever they have to retreat. You'll hear that. And I don't know if I made this clear enough, but it's a bugle. It's a bugle signal. So the bugle would play some certain number of notes or some pattern of notes, and everyone would know, okay, that means fire and retire. So now we get the broad plan out to everyone at once, which is, instead of advancing, which is what we were doing, now we're gonna retreat.
Right.
And as soon as you get everyone that information, now little elements can start to make it happen. That's decentralized command. But you have to have good communications in order for that to work. And what you need to communicate is the broad plan. And that's what they get done with a nice little bugle signal. Back to the book. Pouring a regular and sharp fire upon the enemy, he galled them in return. And remaining with the 29th until he brought them to the charge, quickly sent the foe in the right about. It seemed to me that few men could have conducted the business with more coolness and quietude of manner under such a storm of balls as he was exposed to. Indeed, I have never forgotten him from that day. So yeah, it's important to also recognize that you have a group of men that are about to fall apart, and there's confusion. And one guy, and I talk about this all the time, one guy steps up, takes ownership of the situation, leads, and it changes the entire outcome of the battle. Think about that one person.
Yeah.
You got 1,000 men versus 1,000 men. One person makes the difference.
Yeah.
So if you're in a leadership position, think about that. Think about what you're doing. Are you leading? Are you stepping up? Are you galloping up on a horse and setting things right? Because that's what you need to be doing.